I, Frederick Wafula Odilo, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in the respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth and the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Next, the clerk.
Thank you, Chair. I, Gabriel Erambo, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Okay, the clerk, you shall then formally table your responses.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I hereby table the following documents before the committee: management responses and accompanying annexures for the report of the County Public Accounts Committee on the report of the Auditor General on audited financial statements for the County Assembly for financial year 20 of Busia County Assembly for the financial year 2023-2024.
Auditor General, can you confirm your readiness to proceed?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I confirm that we received the responses and supporting document on time, verified them, and we are ready to proceed.
Clerk of the Senate.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I can confirm that we received the documents in time as prescribed in our letter inviting the County Assembly to appear before us. Thank you.
Okay, so in that case, I believe, honorable members, we can proceed with the interrogation. But before we start, Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, you may update us on whether you have looked at this report and whether there is any resolution of the House on it.
Thank you, Chair. I want to confirm that the Committee of the Assembly and Public Accounts has intensively interrogated this report. However, we've not been able to table it due to the congested time constraints that we had. But we have a draft report that's been adopted by members, waiting for presenting to the whole House. Thank you, Chair.
Again, to repeat the conversation we had 2 days ago, we said that if you carry out this exercise outside the constitutional timelines, you're going to have a problem in terms of enforcing your recommendations. And so, whereas whatever you are doing is still good from an oversight perspective, but you'll have challenges. The minute you are going to recommend that the clerk be investigated and prosecuted, it will run to court, as it happened in Nairobi, that the recommendations were made outside time. So we will continue to emphasize, as we had agreed 2 days ago, that let's try and do these things within the prescribed timelines. The Senate took the view, because of limited time, our view was we adopted the report of the Auditor General as was. And so, unlike the executive, where we sought written responses and had some appearances, for county assemblies, we adopted the reports as they were. Now, that's allowed. In a place like Uganda, if Parliament does not act on the reports of the Auditor General within a certain time frame, then the reports are adopted. It's almost like statutory instruments, where if the delegated legislation committee does not take action, or Parliament does not take action within a certain time frame, then the regulations are deemed to take effect. And the chair of delegated legislation is Senator Gataya, Senator Mwenda Gataya Mofai. So we have come to Busia not just to fight and find fault, but we have come to Busia to share knowledge and experience. And I am sure that there is something we can learn from you that perhaps we are not seized of as a Senate. So I thought it would be important to emphasize that, because you have only one county assembly, we have 47. You have only one county executive, we have 47. So time should not be a challenge, unless there are monkey games that we have seen in some counties where the clerk refuses to schedule the matter to appear on the order paper. Is that a problem in Busia?
Chair, that is not a problem in Busia. I still want to confirm that if it were not for the preparation for Senate Machine coming over, this report would have been discussed in the whole House. Two, I also say that what we are benefiting from Senate Machinani is that some of the advice you are giving us in terms of cutting down the backload, we are aligning ourselves to the provisions of the law. So I want to assure the Senate committee that we'll do everything possible, that when we resume our business this month, we are able to provide this particular report so that we're able to dispose it off, and the recommendations contained therein purpose to be implemented by the board. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, now let's come back to the report that we have. In the introductions, we noted that the clerk introduced themselves as acting clerk. This committee has, in the past, taken a very cautious position when it comes to dealing with an acting clerk. Mr. Clerk, why are you acting?
Thank you, Chair. I'm Substantive Director Finance, Busia County Assembly, and Busia County Assembly Service Board appointed me 8 months ago to act as the clerk because the substantive clerk went to court. So I think there is a case between the service board and the clerk substantive. Thank you.
You are Mr. Gabriel Esonga Erambo.
Yes, sir.
At the time of signing these financial statements, which was very way back, more than 8 months, you signed as the acting clerk. So for how long have you been acting? Remember your oath.
Thank you, Chair. As I've stated, I've been acting for the last 8 months.
Can you just give us the date of your appointment as acting clerk so that we can work it out? Because I see your signature here as acting clerk in the financial statements that were done last year.
Thank you, Chair. I think I've carried the letter. If with the authority, we can share the letter.
Just give us the date. It does not have to be complicated.
The
When were you appointed
date is
as acting clerk?
last year, 30th September.
So that cannot be 8 months. We are in October. That's 1 year.
Sorry, Chair, for that date, but it's 30th.
So, Speaker, why do you have an acting clerk for a year?
Chair, as he has stated, we had an issue, a disciplinary issue with the substantive clerk. He was called before the committee, the board, and he preferred to go to court. So the issue went to court, and I think the hearing was even supposed to, the final judgment was supposed to be today, so I don't know the outcome of that. But it's because of court case or the court issue.
So what is the implication of the matter in court, and how does it stop you getting a substantive clerk? Because you need to tell us whether there are some orders that were issued.
Yes, yes, there are some orders that were issued that we should not interfere with that position until the matter is solved at the court.
Are you able to share the citation and the order?
Secretariat should be able to.
Because our experience is that acting clerks are at the mercy of MCAs. They cannot make any serious decision. The MCAs are always threatening to throw them out. That's the situation. That's the truth. An acting clerk cannot be firm, cannot say that this is what the law requires. They'll always be promised that you, if you don't approve our travel, we shall not appoint you. Am I speaking to reality, or this is just in other counties and not Busia?
Chair.
Honourable members,
I think this committee, I agree with you, Chair. We have intervened before. And I think myself, the Vice Chair, and yourself, we had an acting clerk for the longest in Kilifi. And you remember on several occasions, she acted for more than 2 years, if I'm not wrong, until the committee did direct otherwise. So, Chair, I think what we need to get is that court order that says status quo be maintained. Then from there, Chair, you can rule on the way forward, because if the matter is active in court, although it does not preclude us from considering matters that are before this committee, it will inform the committee. Maybe, Clerk, are you able to share also the invitation that you did send to the clerk, the substantive clerk, to appear for disciplinary action? And number two, did the County Assembly Service Board sat and suspended the clerk? Or you just woke up and just walked to the court? What was the basis? And Chair, on a lighter touch, I was informed by the area senator that 70% of the MCS are graduates. So maybe Busia County Assembly are a bit reasonable when it comes to a clerk, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah,
As we proceed with other
we
matters.
want to be seized. You know, it's quite important. It's quite substantive. There are cases where we have terminated proceedings when we are not satisfied why a clerk is in an acting capacity. And I think, again, as I said, we are here for experience sharing. I have seen very bad behaviors in county assemblies. I have seen very drastic turnover in the position of the clerk in county assemblies. A clerk is appointed or dismissed on the basis of whether he's going to approve travel requests or to approve loan requests or salary advance requests from members of the county assembly. So I hope that that is not the situation. Since we are in Busia, we are already in Busia, perhaps members, we could attempt to prosecute the issues, but I hope that the orders, someone is extracting the order so that we are satisfied that this acting clerk, who is the accounting officer, is in that position out of necessity.
Can we get to know from the speaker whether you have such like nasty experiences? Maybe now that you have the acting clerk.
From members. No, I think the reason that led to the suspension of the other clerk was simply because of a report from the park committee on audit issues. That is what led to his suspension. But when we called him in for disciplinary measures, he preferred to go to court. But we have that court. I think it's just an issue of, it's just send it be printed. We have it here.
No, Dr. Ari, the risk, you know what the speaker said, because you're familiar with the matter of Nairobi County Assembly and the Alcoholic Drinks Board, where the Assembly made an adverse recommendation on the administrators of the fund, and they went to court, saying that the recommendations were made outside time. So that's a danger also of you doing your work outside time. If you're going to make adverse recommendations on any officer, let it be done within the constitutional timelines. I hope that is not one of the objections that the clerk has raised in the matters before court, but we'll not get into the substantive issues. We'll be satisfied if we see the orders that have maintained status quo.
They have shared it, they're printing it. It's coming any minute from now.
Okay, so then in the meantime, members, or Senator Obua?
I just want to make a comment that, I mean, it doesn't have to elicit a response. I've just looked at the management structure of the county assembly. I've got a feeling that committee services are not being given the status that they deserve. It's an opinion that I have. Because I see you have a deputy clerk in charge of plenary services, but for the committee services, it's headed by a director, way below a deputy clerk. My opinion, just my opinion. Now, a lot of work in the assemblies and even in parliament takes place in committees. So we just consider having a deputy clerk in charge of committee services. That's just an opinion.
Speaker?
I don't know whether to, can you come up again? Because what I know, we have a deputy clerk, he's actually here, he's in charge of the plenary. But he's also in the committee service. He's in charge of the committee service, actually, the deputy clerk.
Is the deputy clerk substantive?
Yes, he is.
If the president were not there, and then there's a deputy president, who would act as a president?
The deputy.
So why do you have a deputy, substantive deputy clerk, and then you fish someone from somewhere else to be the acting clerk?
Chair, we did not fish from somewhere else.
No, you fished from another department.
In terms of seniority in the establishment, he's more senior with more years. And I remember your resolution when we met last in Nairobi, you were very categorical that we needed somebody with an accounting background to be a clerk.
It is not in law. It
Yes.
is just a recommendation.
Yes.
My question is, you have a substantive deputy clerk earning a salary with all the benefits. When the clerk is not there, why can't the deputy clerk act? Because that is the essence of deputizing. Do you have a deputy speaker?
Yes, we have a deputy speaker.
When you have traveled, doesn't the deputy speaker assume the chair?
He does.
Or members decide to pick the MCA for another area?
No, he does, Chair.
So, in terms of corporate governance, what does that say about Busia County Assembly?
Chair, just to put it in a better perspective, when we met last, we had appointed actually one of the deputies as the accounting clerk. It was a lady in that meeting. She's one of our deputies. And the resolution from you, okay, the recommendation from this body was that we need to have somebody with an accounting background for that job.
Speaker, there are things we can direct, and there are things that you must do in accordance with the law. I've just given you the illustration.
Yes, I've heard that.
Once you have a deputy speaker, whether the MCAs like that deputy speaker or not, when you are not there, the deputy speaker takes charge, isn't it?
Yes.
When the clerk is not there, and you have a deputy clerk appointed by the paid a salary with all the benefits, why can't the deputy clerk, unless there is an issue of competence?
Yeah, Chair, that's what I wanted to come to, with your permission. What is the qualification of the substantive deputy clerk?
He has a master's.
In what?
Statistics.
Is the deputy clerk here?
He's here.
Can you hand him the mic so that we know why he can't be a substantive clerk?
It indicates...
see where they have sent the deputy clerk to...
He has a master's, but he's sitting in the back row.
My goodness.
That's another indicator.
Yeah, we need to know whether he's a
He
ghost
should be
worker.
sitting next to the clerk. Surely. Yeah, just tell us there's a story in the Bible about where you sit before the owner of the ceremony asks you to come at the front. Yeah, I think that is much better. That's much better. That's your seat. Okay, so just guide us on your qualifications from your degree to your master's and any other professional qualifications you have.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Francis Makoha, Deputy Clerk in charge of Legislative Services, the County Assembly of Busia. My qualifications I have a bachelor's degree in statistics from Moi University. Then I have a master's degree in statistics from Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. I'm currently undertaking a doctorate degree at Kenyatta University in matters to do with public policy and management. I'm working on my thesis. That's all for now. Thank you.
Is it possible you are overqualified for the position of clerk? Have you ever expressed interest in the position of clerk for Busia? It's a yes or no. It's like we want to know the prevailing circumstances.
They haven't, there's no vacancy actually at the moment. So in that respect, I will not express that. But I'm waiting when the vacancy exists. I'll definitely love to do that.
Okay. So, Deputy Clerk, with that kind of background, I'm sure you're familiar with the County Assembly Services Act.
Very much.
What does it say in terms of exercise of functions of a clerk during vacancy or inability?
It's very explicit. The deputy takes charge.
The
deputy clerk takes charge in those circumstances.
Why didn't you take charge?
We work at the behest of the board, and it's only the board that can delegate those mandates.
It is not delegated by the board. It is explicitly stated in the County Assembly Services Act, and for avoidance of doubt, it says, if the office of the clerk is vacant, or if for any reason the clerk is unable to exercise the functions of his or her office, the deputy clerk, or in the absence of the deputy clerk, any other officer in the service appointed by the board may exercise all the functions, duties, and powers of the clerk. Was the deputy clerk absent at the time of that appointment?
He was not absent.
Speaker, in terms of your submission, let it be guided by that section of the County Assembly Services Act. That is our compass.
Well guided.
So, can you explain to us why you skipped that gentleman there, rendered him a ghost worker, and picked someone else to perform functions that he is, by statute, required to undertake?
I can confirm in this sitting that I just promoted him last year from the position he was to a deputy. So from the board perspective, we felt he had not gathered enough experience to run that assembly.
If he has experience to be a deputy clerk, then he's got experience to be a clerk.
Surely, Speaker, in all due respect, I think cut your deputy some slack. For you to make him a deputy clerk, what you're saying is, in the event that there is a vacancy in the office of the clerk, he should be able to step in and perform the functions of the office. Because now what you have done is, now he is getting instructions from an acting clerk, and he's a substantive deputy clerk. That's not fair.
Well guided.
You said it,
which one came earlier? Is it the appointment of the finance officer to be the deputy clerk, or the promotion of the substantive deputy clerk?
Substantive came a bit earlier. I think there was a difference of about 2 or 3 months.
Then you skipped him, then you got the finance officer.
We don't know these individuals, and luckily, we have not, personally, I have not interacted with any of them in my stay in Busia. So I'm not canvassing for somebody. I'm just referring to the law.
Well guided.
Because the other mischief that happens in county assemblies is that one day, and I hope not, the assembly may impeach the speaker. And then, once the speaker is impeached, the assembly selects an MCA to chair the board. It has happened.
Yes.
And yet, the law requires that in the absence of the speaker, who is the chair of the board, it is not the deputy speaker. It is the vice chair of the board who takes over.